Yeah, I know we're late, but you know what? What's new? Welcome back, guys.
Fair point.
Uh, this is our first stream of the new year. Um,
Woo-hoo! Happy no longer 2020.
yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the new breed of hell 2021.
Exactly.
Is it that, or is it just 2021 Prestige Level 1? Those of you who are old enough to understand that reference, kudos. If you're not old enough to understand that reference, you may want to leave.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be listening to this if you don't understand that.
Now there's a brand of memories.
It's like 3 people just leave the Discord call.
PTSD. I don't know what it is, but it sounds scary.
It's a COD reference.
I figured as much.
Okay.
But I don't play Call of Duty because I'm not selling my soul.
You did that in real life.
Sure.
Welcome back. I've said that once. Who's flapping in the mic?
For once, it's not me.
All right. I don't know who it was. It's fine.
I think
It's
that might
fine
be
now.
Mando over there.
I don't know.
All right.
I'm not doing anything.
So for those of you who are wondering why Blind's voice sounds different, you know what we started with? How his mic never liked him? Or he just had computer problems? Well, we're returning to those early days. His computer died.
Yeah, his computer literally had a heart attack, and
Yeah, when you use an AMD graphics card, or not graphics card, but CPU, it doesn't have built-in graphics.
On the bright side, you are registering just about as loud as everybody else in OBS. As long as your mic is picking you up, because sometimes you start off strong and then you fade, and I don't know why.
Endurance.
Now,
So
it's only because that is on, I start walking around my desk.
yeah,
Stop walking around your desk.
yeah. Also, to welcome in the New Year's, I have my son here co-DMing with me. Say hello, buddy. You gonna say anything? No, he's not. Cool.
His first words are gonna be like, "You're all gonna die."
No,
No, his first words are going to be roll for initiative.
roll initiative.
But we haven't even come across monsters. That's what you think.
No, he's pretty vocal at times, but I have him sitting up looking at the different colors on my computer screen, so he's pretty entertained.
Ooh,
Pretty much. But he'll be hungry in like an hour, so that'll probably be a good place for a break. Anyway, it's been like, it feels like forever, but it's only been 3 weeks since we've last played. With that in mind, who wants to attempt the recap, or would you rather I just do it?
I did it last time, so I'm ineligible.
Let me try.
Okay.
From what I remember, we found the fortress. We explored it, finding money in one room, finding a bunch of skeletons that I was kind of excited for, and then kind of disappointed about.
Yeah, they were super old. Happens.
Yeah. We found a bunch of little scraggly guys we fought, and then something screamed, they ran, and we found a reason to scream.
Yes. That sounds about right.
We fought it, we won. Oracle says, hey, this place is yours. Yay!
Yeah, so now you guys have a floating fortress that doesn't float.
Right.
That
Because
was
of magic crystals.
correct.
Somewhat lead on where to go next.
Correct. I will count that. So Romulus, go ahead and take your point of inspiration for the session.
Woohoo!
And to clarify on what they fought, just for the sake of those of you who may be listening, who may want to use these in your own party adventures, the tiny squirmy things that they fought were essentially core spawn. They're like a CR1 creature, or maybe they're 2 or something. They're not very high. They just make a lot of attacks and have pack tactics. So they can very easily wipe out a low-level party. And then I threw like 30 of them at these guys. So, since they're like level 7. And then the creature they fought is a... Yeah, and then the big creature that they fought is a homebrew creature called a Crowshine. It's a big, nasty, leathery, demon-looking thing. So... join the Discord. I'm sure I can post art and stuff in that. Maybe we'll start look into an art channel for the homebrew stuff that I make, and people can post what they think the creature looks like. And maybe we'll do like a reward for whoever gets the closest or something like that.
And if you're like me and you forgot to make your New Year's resolution, joining the Discord is a great way to start your new year.
This is true.
It's a great resolution to make.
That and joining our stream every Friday night
at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when we start on time.
It'd be great if we did, but
right.
nudge.
It's been a heck of a day. I had somebody at work throw up in my car today. Yeah, it's been
I've
a
been
day.
that person.
Don't be like Rona. Don't be that person.
Yeah, I'm unique.
So
Don't be the Rona.
What?
I was
Don't
running
be
before
the
it was
Rona.
cool.
Oh,
I was running
the
before
Rona,
it was
gotcha.
cool.
I know, dude. Anyway,
It's not my
we've
fault.
killed. I know, we've killed enough time with these shenanigans. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and dive on into tonight's game.
Could have sworn you were going to say, let's go ahead and die.
No,
yes,
you
death.
guys. So, the party has suddenly come down with a case of death. So, you
Right.
guys spent the night in this cloud giant fortress. After your battle with the Crowshine and your brief conversation with the Oracle, who basically said, it's yours, do with it what you want, and then gave you a lead on how to potentially make this thing fly again. You guys took your turns watching through the night, killing off the few cave spawn that would get core spawn, sorry, not cave spawn, that would dare come close enough to the party. They're not very hardy, so one person could easily kill 1 or 2 here and there.
and with my undead.
Correct. Not an issue. For the most part. Probably something you'll want to get looked at some point in time, just to thoroughly eradicate the grouping that may still be there. The infestation, that is. But as you guys begin to settle down, or not settle down, wake up, the morning is yours, and the day before is lying before you.
So were we all huddled in the same room, or did we take different parts of the tower?
I don't know. What'd you do?
I went to
Oh,
the
that's
library.
You slept in the library.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, no different than the lab I sometimes fell asleep in when I was studying.
I fell asleep on the roof.
Okay. I will
feel like
say...
Nolan would fall asleep wherever he got tired.
Fair enough.
I went up to the giant beds. Just saying.
As you guys wake, I will make a couple clarifying things for those of you who would have been around the tower throughout the night. Denoc, the tower, or the first thing you would notice is that all of the books in this library are written in Giant.
Okay.
So at first you don't understand any of the languages at the language. I don't believe you speak Giant anyway.
Nope.
So at first glance you don't understand anything that you're looking at. Would you investigate throughout the night, or would you pretty much just kind of leave it for the next day?
I'd leave it because I just went to where I feel comfortable. Books
Fair
make
enough.
me feel comfortable.
Fair enough. So, as morning rises, and you guys eat some of your trail rations, basically, as that's about all you have to cook here, other than, rotten food or
Ew.
food that's very, very, very much past its expiration date.
I'll stick with the
what-
rations, thank you.
What would you guys like to do as you guys all begin to gather back together? I would probably say on the second floor, just because that's kind of where everybody would be. That'd be a central point for everybody.
So after walking out of the bedroom area, which I believe was on the second floor, correct? I don't have the map. No, it was on the first floor.
Correct.
Okay, then whether anybody's around or not, I will walk out from the bedroom area on the first floor, and I'll be stretching, and I'll say out loud, "Wow, that was like sleeping on a cloud."
Actually, probably not, because these beds would have been super old, and most likely by the time you woke up in the morning, you would have found yourself on the floor underneath one of the beds.
Perfect.
Probably covered in bugs, too.
Well, I'll leave that for the viewer discretion.
Viewer discretion is advised.
A little late for that warning.
I will pretend that it felt good, one way or another.
You are most
Convince
welcome
myself
to
of it.
do that.
I will convince myself of it.
Roll persuasion and then insight, I guess? I don't know.
Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see.
I persuade myself.
Well,
12.
versus...
I know
21.
I'm full of shit.
You don't
enough.
believe yourself.
So maybe it came out more like sarcasm. Who knows?
I would say that it probably did. Alright.
Cardin will do squats all the way down the stairs.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So wait, I have a question. Because of how the stairs are designed, are you going like a one-step shortcut, or are you going each individual stair?
One
with
step
a
shortcut.
Okay, go ahead and roll an athletics check to see how many squats you get in before you hit the ground.
Remember, you have to do that.
Rip.
Rip.
Correct.
Rip.
I forgot what I didn't quite get what was said until after everybody was like rip.
I mean,
Okay.
I could roll my own dice.
I'm gonna change this to that so they look neater. Okay, so an 18. I'm gonna go ahead and roll a couple of die here. Where's my other? There it is. You get an 11 before you hit the next floor. So with great form, by the way.
I mean, 11 ain't too bad.
So
And let me guess, Katya is staring at his ass the whole way.
Well, he was coming from the roof,
nope,
and I'm on the first floor, so nope.
yep. So yeah.
I don't think I found anybody yet, unless there's somebody else on the first floor.
I mean, that would depend on where.
Getting there.
That depend on where everybody fell asleep at. D-Knock, on your way out of the library, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Ooh. Perception.
Oh, losing my head.
15.
5. All right.
I haven't had my coffee yet.
All right. You leave the library and begin going to gather to meet up with everybody else. Valinar, where did you fall asleep, and what are you doing?
Valinar would have fell asleep wherever he felt tired.
Where would you have been when you felt tired?
I don't have a map in front of me. Probably the cafeteria or something.
Oh, with the ranked smell? Okay.
Ew.
Remember, it's been a few weeks. We don't remember anything about the fortress,
He's-
pretty much.
That's
He
true.
smelled
I
worse.
thought there was another cafeteria thing on the first floor. I don't remember the full layout.
Okay. We'll solve that problem.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Oh,
So-
much better.
Yeah, this is the room I was thinking of. The one that just instantly appeared on the first floor, not the
So-
one with the bed.
This is the first floor. This
Yeah.
over here is
Yes.
the cafeteria. There is some food in there that hasn't quite completely
Disintegrated?
vanished. Yeah, it's
Ew.
disintegrated. And then this is the bedroom.
Ah.
This floor with the armory would have been the second floor. And then
Okay.
you have
Okay.
the roof here.
Actually, wasn't there like a little balcony outside of the library?
There wasn't a map for that one, if I remember right.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
asking.
So the library is technically like here in this little pocket.
Okay.
So that's where the library is.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember. Wasn't there like a little alcove right there?
Right. So these
Yeah.
stairs here, these stairs led up into this, which is literally a platform. Then right here on the edge. Let me see if I can grab a drawing tool. It would also help if my screen was on the correct screen. So like right here is a door. You can barely see where I marked that at. And like
right
so
there.
this yeah. So the stairs kind of come up like right here, and you have this kind of area down here then, and then this is just a hallway.
Okay. Valinar probably would have fallen asleep like at the top of those stairs.
Okay, so
He probably would have
D-Knock,
been making his way up to the library and then gone, I'm going to sleep.
boom. All right. So D-Knock, when you step out of the library, the first thing you see is probably a stretching Valinar, as Valinar would have had, full rest just like you, and would be getting awake as well. I imagine he's like sitting at the top of the stairs, kind of stretching uncomfortably as he probably fell asleep in his armor,
Yep.
which is very uncomfortable, by the way. Normal rules would say that you'd have to take a level of exhaustion for that, but I'll be nice.
Okay.
So I guess one of the first things we need to fix this place up is beds.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be nice. I would also like to grab one of those forever burning torches or whatever you called them and light any extra sconces I can see around this fortress because we can't live in the dark, or at least I can't.
Definitely have some for tomorrow.
Oh, wait. I'm still on the first floor. Nobody can hear me.
I was waiting
I'm
for
talking
it.
to myself.
So
Well,
I
anyways,
talk to myself.
trailing
to the
behind me are my four followers.
they would. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Behind me are my 4 followers.
All right. So eventually, when you get out of the door, they follow out behind you. I'm just gonna leave them placed over here for right now.
And I'm going to say that during the night, they were looking in the immediate area of the library for any more of those smaller creatures.
Okay. I'm also going to say you had them tasked with cleaning up the bodies and stuff as well, just so that it's a little bit of a cleaner area. So eventually, Cardin comes down. Where would John have fallen asleep at? In the armory. Perfect.
That's what I was gonna say.
And eventually, I will say, Katya, you come up as well, and you guys.
I want to get rid of this light here. I don't need that anymore.
I mean, it's still dark technically, so you might want to keep it.
Yeah, you're right. I'm blind as shit. So, oh, now I can't see.
It's daytime. There is light coming in vaguely from loose directions.
So is it dim light?
Sure.
Okay.
Where is everybody?
I can see.
By the way, in my hand is my firebolt. I'm just holding it.
Oh, good.
And on the first day, he said, "Let there be light."
Light.
All right.
I'm guessing Valnar cast light.
No, there's enough light to see. Valinars doesn't care.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question:
What are you guys gonna do with the day?
Clarifying since eagle.
How cold is it?
In this area, it's not terribly like it would have been. It would be cold if you guys weren't inside of a fortress. The stone itself makes it a little cold, but the walls seem to be fairly well insulated somehow. So it's not terrible.
So yeah, I'm still kind of huddled around my firebolt. Cold-blooded!
Yeah.
Ah, right. So, we have to get this thing flying. But before we get it off the ground, we should probably do some cleanup. It's a wreck in here.
My boys were working a little bit to get rid of some. I look at the blood splatters. There
Yes,
wasn't any rags to clean that up. So...
Not to mention all of the giant skeletons around, and the general disarray, the rotting food, and the fact that it's dark.
Mm.
I don't know what
Maybe
you're
not
talking about.
Oh, maybe not for you, but for those of us who can't see well in the dark, I would like to have some light. So, I plan on taking one of those magical torches and seeing if I can't get some light around here.
Good luck lugging that huge thing around.
How big was it?
I mean, it was just the size of a torch. It was just difficult to get out of the wall.
Oh, I thought it was actually larger because you were saying it was made for giant hands.
Correct, but it is well, actually, because it's not tunable.
That is a good point.
It's not
That's a good
an
point.
it's not an attuned item. I was thinking it would shrink down because it is technically a magical item, but it's not a tunable item, which means I don't think it technically would. So
It would be large.
yeah, it's like a club for you.
I'll make do. I mean, if I need help, I can ask one of your skeletons. Right?
I shrug. Eh.
I think you might actually have a higher strength score than a skeleton, but I don't know.
Not by much, I'm sure.
We can check real quick.
My strength score is 8.
Skelly's stronger than you.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So if I get some assistance with that, at least providing light will make it easier for seeing what needs to be cleaned up.
Okay. Skeleton, follow him and carry the torch.
Thank you. Come, follow me. Let's go.
They do so.
Excellent. I'm gonna head down to. Was it the first floor where we found it at, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, remind me. Okay.
We'll just put you over on the stairs, and we'll send.
Woohoo!
All right. What are the rest of you guys wanting to do?
Slaughter the innocent.
What?
Maybe we don't do that.
Cardin's going to look to see if there's a blacksmith tools anywhere.
Anyone else worried about Cardin suddenly being possessed overnight by something? Like, I know he's a bloodthirsty maniac, but that sounded dark even for him.
All right, Cardin, go ahead and roll investigation.
DM's like not even gonna question that one.
You do not find anything.
Kind of want to roll insight to see if he actually has been possessed.
Yeah.
Sure. Cardin, do you want to try and hide this?
Yeah, why not? Cardin doesn't know what's going on.
That'd be deception.
So yeah.
Oh, there it shows up. Dinok, he's possessed. Valinar, he's yanking your leg.
Okay.
Valinar shrugs and goes, maybe later.
Now I'm just sitting here switching my glance, looking between Cardin and Valinar, like, okay, on one hand, what the fuck? On the other hand, wow, that's cold.
I thought Dinok was the cold one.
Yeah.
Also,
that's why he's like, if I'm saying that's cold, it's cold.
So, above game, real quick, Valinar, you told me before we went on break that you wanted to cast Speak with Dead.
I don't remember what for, though. I just remember we
Torben?
I don't think it was
either
Torben.
Torben or the King.
It was on the
I
King.
think it was the skeleton up top.
Yeah. I'm looking at the message right now. You wanted to just cast Speak with Dead on the King, the guy on the roof, before you go to the city.
Yes.
So
I don't remember why I wanted to do that, though.
Well, that's problematic.
So, yeah, wasn't I talking with you about that? Or did I imagine all this?
You sent me a message.
Yeah, no, I know. I just pulled up the message.
But all you said is you wanted to cast Speak with Dead. And I was like, cool, yeah, you can do that. But
yeah, I don't
that
remember
that was the end of the conversation.
There's something I was going to ask him.
Well, maybe if you guys...
You can save the skull for later, and I can do it later.
Alright, we'll say you put the skull in the bag of holding.
So. That's probably a pretty difficult task.
I mean, it's also a skull. We could just leave it on the big old.
So the skull will fit in the bag. It's just a really tight fit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think you have a couple of giant skulls in your bag of holding already.
Yeah, because I think he was trying to make them skeletons or something.
Yeah.
I thought I wasn't able to fit him in.
You couldn't find a whole skeleton, I think is what your issue was.
Rib cage, right.
Yeah. So the head fits. It's like when you get to the rib cages and just finding all of the bones. It's just it wasn't. You couldn't find a completed one.
Right. That's when I got an idea. We talked about
Right.
that, and you.
Yep, we talked about that over break.
Mhm.
So, do you guys want to explore anything else in the fortress before heading back to the city then? Because you guys haven't really explored the library. Cardin rolled terribly looking for stuff for the forge. But yeah, that's about it.
Did Cardin remember to look at the forge for stuff for the forge?
Not with a 5 in investigation.
Probably not.
You probably came downstairs and went, I wonder. Walked over here, walked inside and went, nope, and walked back.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Looking directly at probably the forge itself, and you're like, nope, no forge here.
Now that'd be a nat 1 there.
Yeah. Anyway, if you guys don't want to do anything else here at the fortress, then we'll go ahead and start traveling back.
I do want to look through the library a little bit with finding a few, like 1 or 2 things that interest me in ritual casting identify.
Do you have a way of detecting magic or anything like that?
I mean, technically, it doesn't need to be magical, does it?
I mean, no, but you would literally get the understanding that it is a book. Or maybe a history book, if I'm generous.
I said things that interest me, like doohickeys,
Oh, okay.
knickknacks.
All right.
Bubbles.
Does anybody want to go with him?
I'm still trying to get a torch.
By this point in time, I would say you would have returned.
Ah, have I managed to light any sconces with it?
You know what? I have to check something really quick because probably not.
How high are the sconces off the floor?
It's actually not what I'm gonna check.
Are there sconces?
That's actually kind of what I'm checking.
That would be unfortunate if I went all the way. Wait a minute.
Well, I mean, if that is the case, then hey, you do have a torch now to light your area.
Put it in the bedroom and hope it doesn't catch fire.
Interesting enough, cloud giants do not have dark vision, so yes, you would have lit several torches or sconces on the first floor.
Fantastic.
Wow, I don't think any giants actually have dark vision. That's interesting.
Not even cave giants? That's a real creature, right?
Stone giants have dark vision.
Huh, okay.
That's literally the only giant of the 6 the 6 giants, hill, fire, stone, frost, cloud, and storm. Only the stone giants have dark vision.
I mean, that kind of makes sense.
I know, but that's interesting to me anyway. Oh well. So yeah, you would actually, the first floor is fairly well lit now at this point.
Afterwards, Kate is gonna set the torch on the floor, and put his hands on his hips and look around and say, "I'm so proud of what I did here."
You feel good about yourself while nobody else hears you other than the skeleton, who just kind of looks at you awkwardly.
I'll give him a thumbs up and say, "Good job. You can return to your master now."
He does not.
Yeah, I'm like, technically he continues to follow you.
Why are you still following me?
Can't reply.
As I'm heading up the stairs to go back to where I remember everybody was at last.
Oh my God! You literally told him goodbye, and now you guys are heading in the same direction.
I love it.
You're still following me. Oh, whatever. Come on, let's go find your master.
So,
Quick
who would like? Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna just ask Dinoc, did you ask your skeletons and everyone just to clean up the dead, or also to get rid of the rotten food?
Hmm.
I feel like the command would have been like clean up. And to be fair, your skeletons probably can't tell the difference between a corpse and rotting food.
Yeah?
I mean, they're both the same thing depending on what you like to eat.
This is
True.
true.
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
were
like
cleaned
the
up
awkward
the food.
silence.
Okay.
I just can't edit it, not directly anyway. So, not, or at least not right now, due to the way
I just
the
thought
map. We'll just
Pretend.
So I'd ask, because if they didn't do that, Valenhar was gonna start getting rid of.
Oh.
there. I help the pretend.
Okay, cool.
Arden will start like trying to hold and like cut down the beds.
But
Like clean up that giant bedroom.
Oh, got you.
You're welcome. It's a table.
I was being lazy. I also have a child in my arms, so
Fair enough. I'm helping
Anyway.
you out.
I know I appreciate it. Anyway, okay. So Cardin is gonna go tear down beds. Dinoc is gonna go to the library. Valinor, what do you want to do?
He's gonna go down and try to figure out a way to get rid of that stagnant water in those baths.
Okay. All right. Katya, what are you gonna do?
Oh, I remember going up the stairs with the skeleton. I'm looking for Dinoc to return his helper.
Yeah, Dinoc could probably be gone at this point.
And here's the thing. There is still a skeleton standing here with orders that if he sees you, or, quote, sees, he is to point towards the library.
Okay. So I'm gonna
Now, here's
guess
the thing. DM, how well does he follow these orders?
Make an intelligence check for your skeleton.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Oh boy, an egg too.
Oh my God, he's as dumb as Boris.
I mean,
Uh-oh.
that's not a horrible score.
So
It's ooh, but
So I'm gonna say this is what happens. You tell him to point in the direction of the library. So Katya, when you and this other skeleton arrive about here, you went downstairs. The skeleton just looks at you and points like that. He points at a wall. He basically points to this wall right here.
And I'm gonna look at him in confusion and say, "What? What are you pointing at?"
He continues to point directly at the wall.
I'm gonna go over and I'm going to thoroughly check the wall.
You hear bone on bone as the skeleton face palms, and
yeah.
I look back at him, hand on the wall, and I say, "What? You're pointing at the wall? Is there something here that I need to know about?
at
Have you
this
seen
point,
Dinoc?"
at this point, I think the skeleton, because it isn't like retarded, like super retarded. It's just unable to speak. I think it's gonna walk over here and then point this way.
Oh.
Actually, fun
Okay.
fact: I don't think I don't know if Katya knows. Oh wait, yeah, no, you all came up that way. Never mind.
It's
Yeah.
simple, not stupid.
I've been in the library. I dropped a book on my head.
You went downstairs as well. What is John doing during all of this?
I would like to scout outside.
Yeah, you want to be outside.
Yeah.
We will just place you right there.
Yeah.
Floating.
You guys are currently over here in the library. Okay.
Sweet.
Cardin, I'm gonna have you roll, I guess, an athletics check for cutting wood. 15, you do okay. Valinar, you are looking at the tubs.
Yeah, trying to figure out how to get the water out. The stagnant water.
Okay, I'm just gonna give you this one because it's pretty simple.
Okay.
They are literally giant barrels. So literally you could pick them up, take them outside, and dump them.
Sweet.
I thought
they
you
would
were
be
going
a
to
lot
like have
bigger than I could just
make
pick
him
up.
cast fireball or something to get rid of them by vaporization.
I was half expecting Valinar to get angry enough to use control water.
I mean, that's another way of doing it.
But if I can just move the barrels, I'm going to do that.
Fantasia much?
Now that's an interesting question. Can you move the barrels?
Can I?
Strength check!
Go ahead and make an athletics or a strength check.
Athletics, they're both the same.
Whichever floats your boat.
19.
19.
Yeah.
It is a struggle, but you do manage to move. Yeah, I'm gonna say you managed to get one to the door and tip it over, and you can find yourself breathing and panting heavily. But rolling it back is much easier. Go ahead and make another one if you want to attempt the other one.
Okay. Here we go again.
Ooh.
Oh, nope.
That's a nat one.
That doesn't work.
I'm gonna say you go to move it, and you just the barrel just flips forward and just covers you in this stale, stagnant water as it spills out over the floor in this bath area.
Constitution saving throw?
What?
I mean, it's not poisoned. It's just gross.
Then
Hey,
check,
hang on.
because...
Yeah, Valinar pukes.
Oh,
So much for my hard work downstairs.
Well, I mean, hey, now you can see the
Water
puke.
Great. Oh, that went well.
But you do have 2 empty tubs now.
Well, I at least kind of got it done.
Okay. That is Valinar. John, yours is pretty quick and easy. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a perception check as you are keeping an eye out outside.
wait, give me a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Perception. Oof.
7. It seems to be pretty quiet outside from what you can tell. Other than the wind kind of blowing by, there doesn't seem to be any sign of life or any activity at all really to speak of.
I mean, there's just that undead dragon over there who's looking at you, but that doesn't matter much.
Stop
Wait, what?
ruining my story!
You can't
No,
surprise
so
them.
it's just a empty area that you are in. The wind blowing ominously.
Then I
But you-
enjoy the quiet.
And you keep your eyes out open.
Yeah.
Fortress starts floating off randomly without you, John.
Oh my gosh, it will be like up, and but like instead the storyline is I have to chase the house to the falls.
Didn't that kind of happen?
Well, yeah, I guess so. Where y'all going? Wait, hold up.
Wait
It's like
for
the
rain!
house and Up.
That's what we just said.
Welcome to the party, Blind. We happen to be playing D&D tonight.
Wait, we're not playing Shadowrun?
Alrighty.
It's like he said that and then left.
Like, no, like my speakers aren't super loud because of my headphones.
Oh,
Gotcha.
still, it was funny timing.
It was perfect.
Barbarian's like, hey, you know, it's kind of like that house on Up after everybody's done talking about it.
Alright.
So what I missed, guys?
Up. You messed up. Yes.
Alrighty. So eventually, you guys are all done. Dinok and Katya eventually are in the library.
I'm gonna
Dinok,
ask,
go ahead.
what you doing?
Well, Dinok is currently looking over some gizmos and gadgets and that kind of a thing. Probably mostly scrolls and books, honestly. But go ahead and roll an investigation check there, Dinok.
Oof.
11. So, hold on. Something real quick. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. You definitely can tell that this place is a very large wealth of knowledge, and some of the things that you find fairly interesting are books and scrolls and tomes. Some of these scrolls even look to have some kind of beginnings of a magical equation written in a language that you don't understand, but the runes look familiar.
Woo.
Um,
Wait. Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
you're not sure why the runes look familiar, but you can tell in this one scroll that you found this seems to be a magical scroll, but you're not sure what the scroll is. If that makes sense.
I mean, definitely ritual casting identify them.
Okay.
Just to see what information I can get from it.
Okay. I need to roll something here.
Roger that.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Uh-oh.
You are the luckiest freaking dragon.
Nat 20?
No, I wasn't rolling it. I wasn't rolling a d20. I was rolling a d4 to figure out which scroll you picked up. After you spend 10 minutes to cast Identify, at which point in time Katya walks in as your Identify goes off. The scroll you are currently holding is a scroll of Comprehend Languages.
Sweet!
You had a 25% chance of getting that, and
That's awesome.
whatever.
Holy shit, yes.
Yep. Whatever.
You sound like you found something. What'd you find in here?
Just the luckiest damn thing I ever could find.
More
The
lucky
scroll
than the
basically
treasure?
okay.
Oh, by
That-
the way,
that's what-
Katya, when you walk in, Dinok is like walking on top of a scroll. Like it's rolled out on the floor, and he's kind of like walking over it, examining bits and pieces of it as he's going through the ritual of casting Identify on it. Because you got to remember, these are made for giants. They are literally
Right.
massive.
Huge. So it looks
to put
like
in
a carpet.
Yeah,
right.
pretty
To
much.
put into perspective, the scroll is probably 6 to 8 feet wide and probably probably 10 feet, maybe 12 feet long.
That is the biggest scroll I believe I have ever seen.
Cloud giants.
Understandable. But what's it say?
Basically, this scroll is a spell that lets us know other languages.
Oh. So that means you can read anything in this library now.
Yes. A part of me wants to copy it down as best as I can, so I can actually memorize the spell itself, so I have it.
Oh.
But the other half of me just really wants to know what the hell these books are.
You would also know the details of comprehend languages through the identify spell. So you would understand that casting it only lasts for like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So which would benefit us the most in the long run?
Probably copying the spell.
That sounds
And
like
you
a good
need-
idea.
You would require special ink and paper for that.
I don't have enough of it. I've been trying to collect as we earn, but
You're a wizard. You're never going to have any money, buddy. Well, other
That's
than right now,
Valor.
because you guys... Other than right now,
Literally
because you
get that
guys... Yeah.
If you ask me, a trip to town sounds like a great idea because who knows? Perhaps somewhere in this library is the information we need on how we can get this fortress moving.
yeah.
That's
All right.
worth every investment.
All right, you want to help me roll this up as tight as we can get it, so I can fit in the bag?
Sure. I mean, how hard could that be?
It's not very difficult. It's paper. You guys managed to roll it up. I would say it would be you could wind it tight enough without damaging it to stick it in the bag of holding.
Bag of holding for the win.
Yeah.
Well, you can thank your squishy boys for buying it.
Wink.
Nudge.
Okay.
Arden's in a different room.
Yep. Alrighty. Does anybody want to do
Okay,
anything
well-
else at the fortress then?
I'd rather hire somebody to finish the rest of the cleanup. I mean, I just wanted there to be lights.
Is there like a stream or something nearby?
No.
Dang it.
You guys are literally on the cliff of the
I was
world
hoping.
with Isurus. Sorry, no dice.
Dang it.
What are you talking about? I have 3 bags of dice right next to me.
I have
got an
like
endless supply of
17
digital dice.
sets right next to me.
I have an endless supply of digital dice.
I can hear all the clicking on his end, and it scares me.
Anyway, don't mind the clicking. That's just me editing the next monster you guys fight.
Oh, that's even better.
Cool. Well, then we should get going to town. I know it's a long trip back, unfortunately.
I want to stop at a river or something to clean up.
Arden,
He
What
says as
happened
he-
to you?
What in the... Dude, you stink.
Yeah, I kind of
Horribly.
I emptied the stagnant water.
Oh, I was-
Did you pour it on directly on your head?
Not on purpose.
I
The
would
second- I
say...
got them both clean. I got them both out. Kind of.
Is that puke over there?
We're not going to talk about that.
I would say to go take a bath, but it looks like you've already done that.
That's why I want to
Wrong
take
way.
another bath.
Ugh.
Fair enough. I
We're
don't
supposed to
think
be
there's a stream nearby until we're down the mountains.
And we're supposed to be cleaning this place up, and you're making a bigger mess.
So the closest
Hey,
river to you guys.
Carden has one idea.
Oh no.
Where'd you come from?
You guys want to see if he just wandered in? Y'all want to see if we can get them engines started?
I looked at Katya and then back to Cardin. What?
Garden, that's why we're going to town.
Wait.
We need help to start those.
First of all, what is an engine?
Cardin's going to try and use like a crankshaft on the crystals.
Where did you even pull that from?
How do you know what an engine is anyway?
So I'm gonna say that it's a. I'm gonna say
like-
that the expression "engine" is used in a. What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for here? An analogy. I guess.
Metaphorical?
Metaphorical sense.
Metaphorical.
And Cardin, you have no success using a crank to try and start the engine of this massive palace fortress. You also then remember, after sweating and nearly dying of a heart attack, you also then remember that these crystals are powered by magic. And that the reason why they don't work has already been discovered and established. It's because they no longer have any magic in them.
Yeah, but it's Cardin.
Yeah, that's why I said after you nearly die of a heart attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but we really have to go back to this. How do you know what the word engine is?
Don't ask me.
It's slang.
Slang for what?
Thing that powers thing.
I looked at
Right.
Katya and I'm like, his tribe might be more advanced than we thought. They may
I
not
don't
be
know.
cavemen.
I've never been to the surface, so I couldn't tell you. But I
That
did
or
have an
this is
idea.
just Cardin bullshit being Cardin bullshit again.
What if we stuck me in one of the crystals? Do you think I could generate enough magic power from
It'd
all
probably
my
kill ya.
uncontrollable magic to get this thing flying?
It would probably kill ya.
And then still probably not work.
We'll just say that was Cardin's one random big word of the day.
Engine. It's a two-syllable word.
It would seem
it's
like
Cardin.
our only option is to go back to town, procure the necessary items for Denoc to copy the spell so we can search the library to figure out how to start this thing. But we also need to follow up on what the Oracle said about Vom.
So with that being said, are you guys going to head to Dagbor or right to the city of Tolis, which is the capital and where Vom would be located?
We might have better success
question.
going to Tullus.
Here you go for reference points. Y'all
We're at
currently
2-ish.
no, you guys are closer to okay, you see where the R is in the area here?
Yeah.
At the top of that peak, follow that kind of at an angle so you get to like the almost the very edge of the map there. You guys are closer to there.
Oh yeah, we're near too.
You're 2 weeks travel outside of the mountain regardless of what you do.
Yes.
Quick question.
Yeah.
How clean are the barrels that Valinar emptied?
I mean, the water is gone, but there's still a little bit of a smell and probably some bacteria that grew a little bit on the side.
And the
Yeah.
algae.
So I don't suppose there's like a barrel or something that's clean enough for me to use create water so I can give myself a makeshift bath.
I don't think so, and I don't think so either to the algae, because it's not like pond water or anything like that. It was fresh water.
That just went bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And if that's not
Would,
how
like,
water works,
Mindy
I
walk on
apologize.
that?
I'm No. Mending is to
I mean,
fix
we could-
something that is broken. The thing is not broken, it's just dirty.
We could stop in Dagbor for a rest and try to get some of the materials there and then go to Tullus.
And maybe see if we can hire some people to fix some of this shit.
Or even procure transportation to Tullus so we don't have to walk all the way.
What about selling all that giant gear we can't use?
I'm actually thinking if we can find a blacksmith, we could, I don't know, melt it down, rework it to maybe be a little bit more
Usable?
Yeah.
Besides,
If
I mean,
not,
Carmen
then-
mentions that we have a forge on the roof.
we've all been up there, Cardin, we've seen.
Yeah, but do you know how to melt down, and I kind of knock at a random piece of whatever, this crap?
Throw in fire.
Ow.
No.
Gotta take a little bit more than that.
This was the guy who just brought up an engine?
Yeah, I know.
Cardin
Yeah.
is
I'm
not
trying-
proficient in smithing tools.
I'm trying
so
to
he
put
does
that out
not.
of my mind right now.
We should definitely go
Although-
to Dagbor anyway. I need to pick up my horse from John's family anyway.
Oh, thought you forgot about that.
Oh no, I have not forgotten my horse. Ray's waiting on me. I've only provided 2 weeks worth of food, I believe, and it's been longer than that, hasn't it?
Not quite. You're coming up on the 2-week point probably right about now.
Now I'm gonna start getting charged for extra. But we would have enough money for everybody else to procure mounts as well. Then we wouldn't have to hire transportation.
I look to my bag of holding. Not if I want to be able to use that spell more than once. Because it costs money for wizards to learn new magic. And it costs
It
a
costs
lot
wizards
of money.
It costs wizards money if they wanted to be able to wizard.
How much?
It's like,
Does it
think of it
cost-
like college.
You've used your one big word for the day. Hey.
That was player. That was player, not Carden.
But how much does it cost to copy a spell?
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, DM. 50 gold worth of paper and ink for a cantrip. And it just keeps rising after that.
Correct. So it's 50 gold for each level. So 50 for a cantrip, 100 for first level, 200 for second, and so on and so forth. Unless unless it is of your school, which is then halved because of your shenanigans.
That doesn't sound overly expensive. How much did we find in the treasury?
What I mean, and that's per spell, mind you, in addition to 2 hours of time.
Can
Wait a
I use
second,
that
I'm
to learn
looking
new
at-
spells?
We did get 2,500 gold and 70 plat.
As well as 8,000 copper.
That's
Oh. Hey.
yeah. We could probably afford to get your spell copied and then afford mounts and still have plenty of money left over.
Huh? Alright, so Dagbor first. By the way, again, blacksmith. That one lady? The one with the sword replica?
Wasn't she in Deja?
I believe so.
Was
We
she
can at
the
least.
Minotaur?
Did I meet her?
I don't remember.
I remember meeting her, but
I
that
w-
was
I
a
wanna say-
long time ago.
I know. I want to say everybody met her. Cuz you guys brought her the that fake sword, remember? That fake replica sword?
Yeah.
So I want to say everybody met her.
Ah, I wrote it down. Steel Fairy the blacksmith.
So I had keen mind by that point. So keen mind bullshit go. What was she?
Her name was Steel Fairy. She was a Minotaur, and this was
Yes, that is correct.
the city of wherever we found out about Torben.
Deja. Deja.
Well, we can send a letter to her, asking her if she wants or knows somebody who would be interested in working with us with this whole mess.
Hmm.
Because I would really like for this to not just be, hey, we found a bunch of scrap metal, and rather have, hey, we've got some actually decent weapons to sell, or hey, we've got some raw, we've got some iron ingots or steel ingots to sell. It'd probably be a little bit better than just,
Here's some garbage we found.
yeah, a giant chest plate that's bigger than a man entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Would my family have a blacksmith?
Yeah, your family would have a blacksmith. They would have a dedicated blacksmith for the entire family.
We could ask them.
When did you get Texan?
I don't know. Okay, I can't remember what the hell John's voice sounds like at the moment.
He sounds like me.
Wasn't ready. It's been a long
you're the
2
one-
weeks.
He sounds
But
like
you're
a
the one
good
that
old
spoke.
country boy.
I'm not trying.
It's being close to his home roots.
Oh my gosh.
No, I think Ginger. I think John was you, but deeper and angrier.
Oh, I can't remember right now.
I
Oh,
sound like
That's
an angry
it.
Texan.
That's it. That one's it.
which one's it?
That right there.
Okay. Well, shit.
It's fine,
If
dude.
you-
It's totally fine.
I'm
If you
struggling.
need to look at the previous podcast to remember what.
No, I don't want to hear my voice at all. So
It's okay. I
I'm
screw up mine
okay.
too.
I'm all right. Anyway, so could we just have my family's blacksmith
Maybe.
turn it into
That's
English?
that's a little bit of a steep order.
They
The
don't
issue
fucking do it
is-
though.
Yeah, literally.
All right.
Also, they would. The only problem I see with that would be, what about his job to the rest of your family?
They'll put that on the back burner and do our thing first.
Which is looking to be a lifetime job.
Oh, frick. Well, maybe we could have one of the apprentices take it on. Be good training for them.
If
I don't know.
we're
We can
hiring-
just ask.
If we're hiring a blacksmith full time, are we going to be able to pay them?
maybe. With food and a free place to live, why not?
Oh,
I don't know if that's gonna be enough, but okay. Try it.
If that ain't enough, then they can go find their own way down the mountain.
yeah, we could tell, like, maybe we can find a blacksmith to hire, and we could, like, tell them
Just
we'll,
tell
like,
them.
bring them back ores and stuff like that. Like, they could live at the fortress.
The hell?
I
What
think
the-
I think
what
blind
is-
I think Blind's texting.
Yeah, I'm trying to adjust the settings.
Whoa!
Okay, well we're
You
hearing
sound way better.
we were hearing every thumb tap.
Now I know how that fish feels from, like, Finding Nemo.
oh man. Hang on. Carton's gonna do it again. You know, kind of sounds like that fish from Finding Nemo.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
Alrighty. Alright, so with you guys beginning to head back to town, heading back to Dagbor, I would like one of you guys to go ahead and roll a survival check just to get yourselves back. Safely, that is.
Would I be able to help them with my keen mind being able to tell me, hey, that way is north?
Yeah, I'll allow it. So who wants to make the check?
I'll do it.
Alright, so roll survival at advantage.
Okay.
Last time John did survival, he almost died. Oof.
10.
Okay.
We are gonna die.
That's it just that's high enough. You guys managed to get out of the mountains, but it does take you a little bit longer than you were hoping. But eventually you guys arrive back at the city of Dagbor.
Damn, fast travel works.
Well, we traveled.
Yeah,
Fastly.
and what I mean, not really. Probably close to 2 weeks have passed as you guys camping out,
I know.
traveling.
In game, 2 weeks total, but
Quicker back.
outside, out of game, fast travel.
Fair enough. Is there anything you guys want to do during that time period of traveling, or are you guys just really focused on getting?
Focused on
Fair.
getting back. There's not a lot to do in the mountains other than rest every night, eat.
One thing I want to try before I go to sleep every night, now that I have an access to higher magical power, I want to try using more magic into one of those creatures. The lost skeleton I have.
Okay.
i.e. Anime Dead level 4.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Grab the details of what we wrote, or what I wrote. Get out of here. Okay. So again, this is casting it into one of the lost creatures. You have it. You can definitely see it beginning to what's the word I'm
Take
looking
hold
for here?
slightly?
You see it begin to take hold, but you can tell that the magic that you are using is just not quite powerful enough. Go ahead and roll Arcana for me.
Arcana. Okay.
19? That's honestly pretty much exactly what you...
Yes.
Um,
I'm getting lucky with the rolls tonight.
So you understand that while this the magic that you have, the power of it, would work to kind of bring this creature, or at least part of it, to under your power. What currently is the extent of your magical prowess is just not enough to swain its effects on this creature that has been corrupted by the shadow plane. But you think with time and a bit more powerful magic you could do so. You also know and have the idea of possibly using this magic on your skeletons or zombies, creating a more powerful version of one of them. Since you have more skeletons, I'm going to assume you prefer skeletons over the zombies. Come on, buddy. Give me 5 more minutes, okay?
Baby.
No, he's not gonna hold. He's not. Let's see. So let me just rephrase, make this quicker. You go ahead and you try this another night, obviously, on one of your skeletons, with some of the extra bones that you have lying around, some of the larger bones at times even, and where I'm looking for. Why is you hiding? Why is you hiding? Buddy, that's not you. Okay. And now I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see it, so. Here you go. So when basically what I'm getting to is, because I can't find it really quick with one hand trying. There it is. Okay. You're able to turn instead of your 4 skeletons kind of break down, and you create this large skeleton, much larger than yourself, and it's very powerful looking. You.
He likes that idea.
I know. So what it ends up creating is, oh my god, dude.
The Little Ripper is starting his engine.
What's an engine?
You create a Minotaur skeleton, basically some exceptions to that. I'll give you details more on that later. And we're going to break.
Fair enough. Break time it is.
Break time.
All right, and we are back now after that short intermission. And I want to thank WearTag for that follow. Welcome to the channel, dude.
Hot damn. We're becoming popular.
Sure.
Wow. Not with that attitude, we're not.
So, real quick recap on what just happened. Enoch learned that he can use his magic of animate dead to animate more powerful undead creatures. If he casts it on a skeleton, he can potentially get a minotaur skeleton. It is pretty interesting to his curiosity.
I'm assuming he was doing this while we were all sleeping.
And traveling. I would assume anyway. For those of you who know that's not how Animate Dead work, I know. We're homebrewing some rules because I think it would be really cool if he wanted to be able to cast Animate Dead on a dead bird, turtle, whatever, and use it as like a substitute familiar in a capacity. I think that's a really cool and unique idea. Unfortunately, I needed something that would also scale in later levels, because otherwise then it's dumb. So,
So a Minotaur familiar.
Sounds like DM says, fuck you, my rules, we do what we want here.
Yep.
Pretty much. And with that, you guys have traveled and are beginning to enter the city of Dagbor.
Ah, yes, finally home. Oh, never mind. It's not home.
It's my home.
But it's not mine. Unfortunately.
What's home?
It's kind of why I'm wanting to get that fortress up and running, home away from home.
What is home? Cardin know what mean.
You know what an engine is, but you don't know what home is.
About par for the course, I guess, on that one.
Ow.
Well, Cardin's people are nomads.
Is this still Cardin speaking?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cardin referred to himself in the third person.
Honestly, that is a new one, but yeah, I don't
No,
know.
it's not. He's done it before.
It's
He's been there before.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Get your pronouns in order.
Something I'm sure you have no trouble with.
Oh, never. Never. I'm always she, or her, or woman.
Says the 6'2" man standing in front of you.
He puts his hand daintily on his chest. Don't know what you're talking about.
Cardin uses Mind Link. And Kadia.
Speaks to who?
Kadia.
Yes.
like, Are you really a woman?
I believe we've been down this path before, Cardin. Don't make me hurt you.
You hear in a woman's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He closes Mind Link.
Hangs up.
Claudia winks at Cardin.
Alright, so you guys basically have free reign of the city since you've had John join you. So where would you guys like to go?
Magic shop. I need that paper and I need that ink.
I'm going to the magic shop too.
Well, I guess I had to wait on John because I can't retrieve my horse without, an escort.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait on that horse. It'll be fine. They're taking care of it. Your horse is fine.
I'm not doubting that. It's just I'm in a hurry to get back to Ray.
Come see the town. Ray will be fine.
Okay. I mean,
No,
so-
I put a hand on your shoulder and I forced you to come to the magic shop with us.
I guess she'll be fine. I mean, she's gonna be stable either way.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Come to the magic shop. Let's see what's in here.
Alright, so you guys make your way to the Arcane Juncture. I don't think you guys have ever been here before.
That sounds slightly familiar.
I don't
Is this
remember.
the one with the snake dude?
Nope.
Okay, that's a different town.
Yep.
So, you guys walk in, and it's a nice little shop. As you guys kind of step in, you see a female gnome behind the counter. And she kind of looks up to you guys and goes, "Oi, welcome. What can I do for you?
I feel like I've met you before.
Have you now?"
It could have been a dream. I swear I've been here before.
Well, if that's the case, handsome, what's my name?
Carla?
I'll give you credit, it's close. It's Gala.
Oh my lord. Well,
that is legitimately what I have written in my notes. Is Gala.
Perhaps we have met. I'm just bad with names. But we're here for the Dragonborn.
Yes, I need magical ink and paper.
That I have. How much you looking for?
Question, what level is the scroll?
Comprehend language, I believe, is a first level spell.
Alright, I'll need 100 gold's worth.
Okay. Are you looking for any more than that, or just the 100?
100 for now.
Okay. She'll get you the paper and ink.
I don't suppose there's any way that I could learn spells by writing them down like you.
With your magic as fucky as it is, yeah, I don't think so. You're more than likely to, I don't know, grow the... What did you do that first time?
Is he one of those
You're gonna have to
types
be more
that go
specific.
boom? You know,
I
goes
go boom a lot.
A little prematurely, I see.
Yeah, I mean, that's how he is now.
Unfortunately. I've had some rough dealings with magic in my travels.
She
Alrighty
magicked
then.
herself into a man. Doesn't know how to turn back.
Oh.
And when we went out to see the Oracle, I was supposed to ask about that, but I was too focused on somebody else and missed my opportunity.
Well, I have something that can help with that. And she flicks her hand in front of you, or towards you, and everybody, you watch as Katya's image shifts and becomes that of a tall, blonde female with long blonde hair that reaches about mid-shoulders.
Tall?
Yeah, about your current height.
Oh. Well, did my voice change too? Before I start
No.
speaking? Oh. So, in a man's voice, Katya's gonna be like, what did you do?
Well, I changed your outward appearance.
Is this permanent?
No. It'll last for
I
about
didn't
an
think
hour.
so. Ow.
Literally, all she
So-
did was cast minor illusion on you, or something like, or
Oh.
similar to that.
Like minor illusion or alter self or whatever. Oh, disguise self or alter self, one of those two.
No, it wouldn't have been one of those.
Ah.
Because that's
Disguise
self-only.
self.
It's self only.
Ah, right. So it's something along those lines, but be cast on somebody else. Fantastic. Well, I'll
Right.
enjoy the look and just keep my mouth shut then.
I look to you and I raise an eyebrow ridge.
Caddy just smiles.
In the immortal words of Sarah, we'll see how long that will last.
She shrugs.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys are interested in here at the shop?
I wanted to
Like,
know.
is there anything that would catch Cardin's eye in the shop?
There
Lot
are
of
literally
shiny things.
there are literally hundreds of shiny things.
You go in and you're like the animals from My Gym Partner's a Monkey. Pretty, pretty, shiny, shiny, pretty, pretty, shiny, shiny.
And
I
then there's
think,
Katya standing there, tall and
I think
blonde
John
and,
was
and handsome.
going to ask a question.
Sorry, Rick, I
Okay.
think we talked over you. What did you say?
I said I think John was going to ask something.
Oh, I wanted to know what all is in the shop. Like, what are the wares?
Is there anything particular you're looking for? Because that helps me narrow it down.
Spells, magic.
Spells.
Narrow down from 1 million to
All right.
1,000.
Did that help?
A little bit.
Ranged spells. Sorry, excuse. Ranged
I'm looking for
attack
magic
spells.
in a magic shop.
Yeah, I would like some magic, please.
I'm sorry, you're in the wrong shop.
I thought this was. You're in the soup store. Why are you buying magic in the soup store?
So there are different things here. There happens to be a small bin of magic scrolls that you can look through, and let's see what we have. And they have some other magical items that you're not sure what they do at a courtesy glance. But they seem to have some magical properties to them. At least you assume, otherwise you don't think they would be in here.
Wait, what magic spell?
No magic spells were named. I'm saying there are scrolls. There are scrolls and there are items that you can ask about or look for, or look through if you would like to find something more specific.
What items are there?
There seems to be a circlet, and a what appears to be. Oh god, I'm trying to think of the name of it. I guess it's a brooch.
Wait, can you say that again?
There's a circlet in what I believe is called a brooch, like something that you would have pinned on your clothing.
Yeah, right word. That is the right word.
Neat.
And what does it do?
You can ask about it.
I pick up the brooch and I'm like, what does this do?
That is.
It's not mine. No, that's the
You picked up the brooch, right?
Yes.
That is that brooch it can empower one's magic in a sense. It allows them to cast and help with some protections of other magics as well. It primarily casts the firebolt cantrip, but it also can, depending on the wearer, can help with resistance to fire.
Is the circlet pretty?
Yes, it looks like a tiara.
Ooh. What does this one do? Dare I ask?
That is a circlet of name of it. What's the spell literally everybody has? Scorching Ray. That's it.
I do not have it.
I don't have it either. I traded it. So it lets you
Okay,
cast
so-
Scorching Ray.
It allows you to cast Scorching Ray once a day.
Hey, Katya.
Hmm.
That might give you a way to use magic without your magic doing things.
Would it work that way, or am I just going to have to buy it and find out the hard way?
Oh my god, kid.
I heard that. Oh my lord.
Oh boy.
Woo.
Yeah, no, that is my son. He fell asleep. I sat him up. He burped, and now he's hungry again.
Wow.
Okay,
Life of a kid.
right.
Right, round two?
Yeah.
Boss had given them one for free because they were like,
They're
there
so
was
cute.
like,
So yes, you would be able to cast that spell without your wild magic being triggered.
Oh.
Wait, which spell can you cast?
Scorching Ray.
That's what.
Scorching Ray. Oh shit.
That's the one from the circlet.
From the circlet. Yes.
Yep.
Wait,
The
what the heck
brooch-
is a circlet?
It's like a tiara.
Oh my gosh! John with a tiara. Oh my gosh, I want it.
I mean, Katya's wanting it more.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Considering-
wanting it.
Katya, you want to have you want to arm wrestle?
Mm.
No, I'm just kidding. No, Katya, you can totally have it. I just think, like, if you just let me borrow it once in a while.
It does require attunement, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, never mind.
I'll wear it. That's fine.
Yeah, you
I mean-
wear it. Look pretty.
It'll feel pretty
It-
for me. I'll get weird looks from other people, but I don't care what they think because I get weird looks anyway.
I mean,
It'll
you
look
won't,
nice
won't
with
look
your-
too weird right now.
It'll
It'll
look
look-
great right now,
Yeah, I was gonna say it'll look nice with your blonde hair.
but in an hour,
It'll still
Eh.
look nice.
Okay,
it'll look nice on me anyway. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
you said you with the tiara. My brain just came up with an idea.
Okay.
What?
Arden with that tiara.
Oh my gosh, that's even better.
Oh no.
Cardin casting Scorching Ray.
No, not the magic part. Just
Oh.
him with the tiara.
I don't think I want to endure that chaos.
But okay,
No,
then,
Cardin has something else in mind.
Oh shit.
and then
You guys also have to remember that you guys have a limited amount of money, and B, we're talking about finding people to work for you, I think.
oh snap, I forgot.
But I do have a personal allowance. How much is this tiara of Scorching Rays?
So I'm looking for the item, and it is very difficult
Huh.
with a child in my hands. So go figure. And I cannot remember for the life of me what it is called. Let's see. I don't even know what it would be.
Circlet of blasting.
Yeah, probably. Does that have the?
You're talking about the Scorching Ray one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what shows up when I search tiara of Scorching Ray.
That's exactly what I was doing.
See, I was just gonna search by
No,
the
that's pretty much what it
spell.
does.
Yeah, Circlet of Blasting. So yeah. Oh, it doesn't require attunement. I thought it did. My bad.
Oh,
Oh.
so
Um,
anybody can use it?
Yep.
Oh snap.
Yep. Doesn't require attunement. And then let me get to the page. It is an uncommon item.
What the hell are you cats
Oof.
doing now?
So it would be. The cost of that item would be 600 gold pieces.
Oh,
Well.
never mind, JK.
I'm a bit I'm about 300 short of that, unfortunately.
Sorry, we have tables. Oh, and I did that. Oh wait, no, I did that right.
That
I
is.
did that wrong. No, I did it right.
I can't afford that at all.
So about that brooch.
I guess I'll just put it back on the shelf very carefully because I don't want to have to buy it if I can't afford it.
So, this one would be. This one's actually a little bit more of a.
I mean, you said it was fire bolt, so cantrip
but it's
versus
also-
second level.
Right, but it's also got a like basically fire resistance stacked on top of it. This one's more of a custom item that I've created. I just did not write down the rarity of it. For whatever reason, I did not write down the rarity of it. So let's see. I'm gonna go. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find the ring of fire resistance real quick.
It's probably like a legendary.
Nope. Okay, so the ring of resistance is considered rare. Fire bolt is a cantrip that is given to you by the ring, so it wouldn't be increased necessarily. So I would call it a rare ring, which would mean, or brooch. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I
would
was like,
mean-
wait, it's a ring?
No,
It's changing.
The fire resistance ring is a ring normally, and I turned it into a brooch with Scorching Ray, and it would cost because of it.
Firebolt.
Nope, Firebolt with fire resistance being a rare item is going to be. It would actually cost you. That'll run you at about 5,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, never mind. I don't want that.
I thought the tiara was expensive. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Magic items are whack, yo.
Everything we
Okay.
found in that treasury isn't enough for that.
Yeah. Wait, okay, so what about these scrolls? Are they any cheaper or
Yeah, they're well, depending on what you pick up. Anything particular you're looking for in terms of the scrolls?
again just something
Go for
that's
cantrips.
yeah, cantrip or something that's like a ranged attack spell.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll.
Oh shit.
Here, okay. Roll me a. No, writer,
Okay.
no. Go ahead and roll. Let's go with a D. Hold on one second. Let me see what this shows me. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a D6.
A D6? Alright.
Yep,
A
D6 for your first dig.
I don't know why this keeps happening.
Okay, a
It's
D6.
a 5.
So a
That
5.
damn there's a 5.
The first thing you pull out.
You're welcome.
So you're special. The first thing that you pull out is a cantrip. Produce flame. And she kind of explains it to you. It's a flickering flame appears in your hand. The flame remains until the duration, 10 minutes. And it sheds light. You can.
I put it back down. That's not what I want.
Well, it does give you a ranged attack. You can literally hurl it at people within 30 feet of you.
I'm gonna
On a hit,
keep
it deals
looking.
1d8 fire damage, and it increases by a d8 at 5th, 11th, and 17th.
Okay. Can I check out some of the other scrolls first? Or actually, how much is it too? Just so I can keep that in mind.
I believe. Let me just really quick double check. Oh, do I have? So the magic scroll would be like 50 gold pieces for a cantrip.
Oh snap! That's not bad at all, actually. Wait, so would it be 100 for a first level? Just out of
Yes.
curiosity.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Can I look at the other cantrips?
Mm-hmm. Are you looking
Alright.
for cantrips in general or still ranged ones?
I would still like a ranged attack one, but also if there's any healing ones too.
Okay, I'll let you in. I will tell you right now there are no healing
Okay.
cantrips. The closest thing you're gonna ever find to that would be something like Spare the Dying, which literally just prevents people from having to make death saving throws.
Yeah, and I think I already have that one, so
Or
will
mimic,
You
be
don't
getting
right?
it.
you don't have any cantrips.
Or no, not. Anyway, maybe I'm thinking of something else, but
Yep.
no.
All right. Go ahead and roll another
Yeah.
d6 then.
Okay, give me a sec.
He needs a second, y'all.
I need a second, y'all.
Oh man. 1. That one
behind
is
door number 1.
number 1. You reach in and you pull out a scroll of chill touch.
Ooh.
There we go.
Yeah.
Ranged melee attack. On a hit, target takes 1d8 necrotic damage, and it can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn. And if you hit an undead target, it also has disadvantage on attack rolls against you until the end of your next turn. It's a d8 at 5th level, 2d8, 11th level, 3d8.
Yeah.
It's a fun spell.
And it's a range of 120 feet.
Oh, nice.
Dang!
I will also make sure you understand that cantrips, or these spell scrolls, when you purchase them, they are a one-time use. The only people that can turn the one-time use spell scroll into a multiple-use spell are wizards, and that's because they can add them into their spell book.
Because they're fancy like that.
Never mind. I'm gonna put everything back then.
Yeah,
JK.
but you could buy multiple uses of a spell scroll. Does that make sense?
Expensive
You can,
per one.
Right, you can buy. That's why they're relatively inexpensive per scroll. 50 gold pieces for a cantrip is not a bad deal. But when you use the spell scroll, it uses the spell scroll, and it literally goes up in flame. And that's what causes the magic to be released.
Yeah, it makes sense, but not what I'm looking for.
So what you do is you take
I know,
it and you
I know
fireproof
what you
it.
want. I know what you want, John, and you're gonna want to either want to find a magical item that'll allow you to cast something so many times a day or something like that, or take the feat at 8th level that we talked about before.
You should look for a wand of fireball.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to see if they had in the shop, but they didn't. So now I'm kind of like,
expensive,
no, I'm
though.
good
They
now.
don't have anything like that in here.
Yeah, we don't gotta waste time in this shop no more. Let's go, everybody. Let's get out of
Cardin
here.
does have something he wants to ask about.
Nope, we're all done.
Yeah, go ahead.
Come on
Go
out.
ahead there.
No,
He wants to see if they have any magical belts.
That's cool. I'm just gonna take my hot blonde ass outside now.
We have one magical belt in the back. She kind of pulls it out, and it's this long, thin leather belt.
Leather belt.
And you kind of look at it, and at first you kind of look at her and kind of raise an eyebrow, like, "What is this?" And she throws it on the ground at your feet. And the moment it hits the ground, it begins to move as it turns into like a snake and slowly begins to coil around your leg.
Corden, like, he does not like snakes. So, he's just sort of like stone still, like,
Oh, will you look at that? It likes you.
it likes me. This is it liking me.
Aye.
So, what exactly does Belt of Snake do?
Exactly what it's doing now. It turns into a snake.
Okay. Hmm. I think I'm good.
Carter's just like scraping it off with one foot. I'm good. Leaves it on the ground and walks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do say thank you though, on my way out.
Okay. You guys, anybody else want anything from the magic store?
I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Where are you guys heading now?
Honestly, I don't care. I'm just gonna be whenever I can find flat surfaces, I'm gonna be working on getting that. What I remember.
Okay.
Well, if nobody has
I
any
mean, we should
objections.
probably try and figure out a way to fix the castle.
I thought that's why we were on our way to talk to Palm.
Yes.
True.
He's in a different
I would
city,
like-
though.
Yeah.
I would like to reacquire my horse first.
I will say,
And I
for the
would
sake of
urge-
expediency, that's easy enough to do.
Good. I would also have to buy more rations for it.
We'll go ahead and say that John's brother, I think his name was Michael or something like that, gives you like 5 days worth of rations for the.
Oh, very nice. Thank you.
And when you get it back, what is it, Ray?
Ray.
Yeah, Ray's coat is very shiny.
Oh, they took good care of her. Very nice. So I'm gonna guess it took probably an hour to get there and acquire the horse and all that. So
It's still
my
probably
illusion has faded.
yeah.
Yeah, thought so. Okay.
You turn back into the tall blonde man that you are.
Was. So
You still are, so I think it's are.
is
Is-
our was.
No, it wouldn't
Am?
be was. Am. Good way.
Ouch.
Anyway.
My brain is hurting.
So, what is everybody else going to do about transportation? Are we going to hire something, or are we looking into horses, or are we just going to walk?
I'm fine with walking.
I look to. Honestly, I'm also surprised that no one's mentioned it, but I look to the Minotaur skeleton behind me.
Oh, I didn't realize that was following us. My passive perception isn't high enough.
We have a necromancer in the group. It's a skeleton that's not attacking us. I just put 2 and 2 together.
But other than our group and the city leaders, not many people know, what I am.
Mm-hmm. But even though you guys haven't like seen any skeleton servants or anything like that, necromancy doesn't seem to be a taboo of any kind. You get the occasional like odd glance, but most people just tend to ignore it.
Like in this place.
The Minotaur skeleton could very easily carry you, Denock.
And he wouldn't really get tired because
Mm-hmm.
that's not
Well,
a thing for
skeleton.
He's immune to exhaustion, so.
And he's a bull man, so
Mm-hmm.
Finally,
He would
somebody
li-
who can listen
he-
to my jokes and not get tired of
He,
them.
but Tish, yeah, he could very easily carry you. I would probably say he probably wouldn't be able to carry more than you, just because you guys are medium creatures and he is only classified as a large. But he would be able to carry you for 24 hours without it getting exhausted.
okay.
And
I'm good then.
at the end of 24 hours, the spell just fades. And it's not the most comfortable ride, I will say that. You are literally riding on bones.
Just get some extra cloth, a little bit of padding.
Some more
Get a
scales.
saddle.
I need a saddle for my large skeleton, please.
Yes.
They put a plank in between its 2 horns and just wedge it in there.
Wow.
The 2 of you have mounts. John, I would say if you wanted to acquire one, you could very easily acquire a mount from home.
Nah, I was just gonna walk.
Okay.
I'm
See
cool
you
with
at the next
walking.
city.
So Katya, do you ride off without them?
No, I wouldn't do that. It was a passing joke.
Okay. So the 2 tanks begin walking, and Katya is like, all right, see you in the next city, and like gallops to the end of the street and then stops and turns and looks at you guys. Longing.
You guys coming
these
or what?
longing looks in his eyes.
Are you guys coming or what? You expect me to, fend for myself out in the wilderness?
Oh, Katya, you'll be fine.
I'm hurt. But at the same time, that felt like a compliment.
Yeah.
But I can come with you if you need some muscle.
If such strong language there, sir.
I think he meant when you need some muscle.
Cardin just sort
Oh,
of breaks down laughing.
I always need muscle.
Yeah,
And
we
with
know.
that, you guys are moving towards the city of Tullus. Yeah, I don't want to spend any more time in that conversation than I have to. So you guys head to the city of Tullus. It takes you guys a few days to get there, but eventually you guys do arrive.
How many days? Because I had to take off the rations and such.
It would be 2 days.
2 days. I know what I'm
You
doing
guys
in the next town.
You guys don't
Buying
need
rations.
to, and you guys don't have to roll for it since you have been here and Deanoch has keen mind.
Woohoo! And this time we don't get arrested for killing guards.
Yeah, this time you guys are let in without a fight.
How about looks?
Are you keeping the Minotaur up?
Yep.
Are you hiding it in any capacity or no? Because I know you had. Because I know you had been like throwing a cloak over like your skeleton and zombies. Are you continuing to do that, or?
I kind of gave up because finding cloaks big enough to cover the Minotaur would probably look even weirder than just a skelly boy.
I mean, we're the heroes, so they should recognize us at least,
Mhm.
right?
Cardin sort of looks at Deanoch and is like, hide Minotaur. He makes gesture to size.
I mean, there are Minotaurs here, so they could wear cloaks.
I mean, that's fair.
Hmm.
But no, I just did not. I'm not hiding the Minotaur.
Okay. Are you continuing to ride the Minotaur?
Until we get to the city itself.
Okay. Inside the city, there are people who are like taking glances at the Minotaur, and you do hear. Well, actually, make a perception check, Deanoch.
Perception.
Whoop. Ooh.
You hear a lot of you hear a lot of murmuring, and every now and then you pick out words like hero. What? Abomination? And other general confusion. At times, every now and then, but for the most part, people are looking at you. Some in awe, some in kind of like, "What is that thing?" And others with a kind of not like a look of mistrust, but a look of uneasiness, as this is something they have never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, you guys go on ahead. I need to go to the stables real quick. Maybe visit the general store. I'm running low on rations for both me and the horse.
Ooh.
I'm just running low on rations.
You know what? Rations actually sound good. Need to stock up on some myself, I guess.
I can't
Okay.
even remember how much rations
how many
cost.
are you guys looking to buy? They're not very
How many-
expensive.
How many rations does Cardin have?
That is a great question.
I'm down to 9 days supply, and that makes me uneasy.
I'm down to a single ration.
You have 53 rations, but I'm gonna go ahead and mark off. You used quite a bit. I'm gonna mark you down to 35, Cardin.
Okay. Because Cardin did do like that giant haul of rations towards the beginning.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll probably buy like a month's worth.
But you
myself.
also have had, you know, a lot of travel through the mountains, and then you had more days traveling here.
Yeah.
30 days worth is 15 gold pieces.
That sounds about right. I want to say it's like a silver or 5 silver for a day. So 2 days is 1 gold piece.
Okay. I'll just mark that off.
And I'll say it's the same thing for your horse because I'm lazy and don't want to look it up.
I will not question it.
So 10 for 5 days. That'll be 6 days of rest total. Okay.
I don't think I'll 30
Cardin, are you wanting to
bags
buy
of
any?
rations.
Cardin he'll just buy another month's worth of rations.
Oh my god. So that's
Cardin
another.
knows never to pass up an opportunity.
So that's another 30 rations. For 15 gold.
I believe I have 15 gold.
You do.
Okay.
If it's 30 for 15, I'll just do that. Actually, that makes a lot more sense.
Horse carry. Before I overload it.
I just open up the bag of holding. I'm like, dude.
Ah. Good point. I forget that you got that bag of holding there.
I just look at you like,
You paid for half of it.
Right, but yeah, okay. Maybe I didn't forget. Yeah, I'll shove it in the bag of holding. I will still keep it like on the horse's page though, so I don't forget it's there.
Okay.
There we go. Thank you.
Alright, and then where do you guys choose to head from there?
Let's see, rations are taken care of. Well, we came to Tullus for one major reason. We had to talk to Vom. I don't hear
That sounds
anybody
good.
objecting. Yeah, I was like, I don't hear anybody objecting, so
Go for it.
Okay. So you're gonna head to the central building where Vom's office is.
This is the one with the weird door, isn't it? Or elevator or something or another?
Hold on, let me open my city notes.
no, the elevator is back the way we came.
Yeah, that one was in Dagbor.
Because that was
This
basically
one-
reverse gravity, if I remember right.
Yeah. This one, that was the same door. That was the same door. That one had the weird door. That place had the weird door as well, I believe.
Did it?
Yeah, because his assistant is super magical.
Super.
Well, it's an elf. Alrighty. Yeah, I don't have super notes on this, so it's you guys basically go to the town hall building, which is a kind of a large central building, built of stone and wood.
Yeah, this is the one with the magic door that goes to anywhere in the tower.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hold on. I need to make a note of that in my own notes then, because apparently I wrote that in the wrong city.
I think. I could be wrong. This is the one with the royal ward, right?
Yes.
Okay, yep, this is the one. This has the magic door in the really, 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 really tall tower. I find it interesting that of all the notes that I took on this town, somehow I did not write down Mayor Vom. I just wrote
I did, but
P.
I lost all of my notes when my phone took a crap.
Oh, buddy. That's rough.
Ouch.
Yeah. All right. So you guys approach the ever extending tower that is the city hall of this town. As a child squalls in the distance. You guys continue heading up to it and eventually knock on the what seems to be the door today.
Oh,
Oh,
What'd you miss?
Somebody?
I heard you guys approach the stairs of the giant city hall large tower. I heard Little Rip say something in the background, just like meh, and then silence.
I said as you guys approach the tower, as a child squalls in the background.
Okay.
And you guys knock on the door, being let into that familiar waiting room where there are tables and chairs with drinks, or at least pitchers to pour a drink with.
Ah, he knew we were coming.
No, it's the same setup as last time. The pitchers appear empty, and so does the foyer.
But magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna get me some more of that peppermint tea then.
Okay. You think peppermint tea, and it pours peppermint tea into a glass for you, buddy.
Drink it.
It's very good. Nice and warm and flavorful.
Does anyone show up?
You guys wait for a little while, and eventually, this elven individual appears and kind of goes, "You can be seen now. If you would, go through that door. Vom is waiting for you." And he does gesture back to the door that you guys originally came into.
Let's see, I know how this door works, so I'm not confused at all. We just go through there
Okay.
thinking about Vom's office.
Sure. You guys
I
go
just
through.
smile and pat your shoulder, Katya. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Cause magic. Let's do it.
Right. And you guys step through and enter into the familiar office of Vom, his lush office of it has lots of greenery in it right now, probably preparing for thematics of a harvest festival. that would probably be coming up rather soon. You guys think? And he's got paperwork on his desk that he seems to be ignoring. His thick stubble and short-cut hair. He kind of turns and looks at you guys and just, welcome. I don't recall summoning you. Is there anything I can help you lot with?
I believe so. We came in search of you based on something that we found that we think you might be able to help us with.
Okay.
Dianoc, do you want to tell him or should I?
What? Sorry.
Okay, I'll go ahead. We
You see
went
me just scribbling on the paper right now.
Oh yeah, you're in the middle of something. I gotcha. So we took a trip up the Airy Mountains in search of the Oracle, and we did happen to find her, and she pointed us to what we found to be. I don't even know how old it is, but I'm just gonna say it's ancient. A cloud giant fortress that at one point was capable of flight. Which is good news for us, because that means we can travel to other land masses. However, the bad news is it does not have any power. It's got these giant crystals that run on magic to fly, etc., etc. But the Oracle told us that you should know something about a place called the Deep Keep.
When you mention the Deep Keep, he almost immediately becomes uncomfortable and almost like just immediately begins sweating. I don't know what you're talking about. The Deep Keep, what is that?
Well, if we knew, we
I
wouldn't
don't
be.
buy it.
Yeah, if we knew, we wouldn't have to ask questions about it. Just know that the Oracle, who sees all, mentioned it in passing to us. And we figured we'd follow that lead because we don't have any other options at this point.
Well, I'm confused on what I would be able to help with.
Can I tell
Even
if he's
if-
wrong?
Make an insight
Sorry.
check.
Uh-oh.
If
16.
anybody else wants to roll, you're welcome to.
Yeah, sure.
Carden will roll a
Right.
slight intimidation.
15.
Well, Cardin has done nothing yet, so I'm gonna say no.
I mean, can't I just stand there looking menacing?
No, because he knows you.
You know you're
True.
an idiot.
If you want to roll insight, you may roll insight.
I'll go ahead and roll insight.
Okay.
That means you.
Yeah, I totally forgot again. I'm sitting here like any second now.
7 or 7, take your pick.
7. Okay. Each and every one of you knows that he is full of crap. He knows what, to an extent, I will say. He genuinely isn't 100% sure what he can do to help, but he does know what the Deep Keep is. But
I'd like to try and persuade him to give up more information.
okay, how do you do so?
I look at. I'm not about to go off the deep end. I look at Mayor Vom and making puppy dog eyes and say, "It is very important to all of us that we can get to our individual homes and assess the state of things. And any information that you might have would go a long way towards helping us toward this end.
I guess go ahead and roll persuasion.
Boop. 23.
I heard that sigh.
I know. I'm just thinking about based off of what he is and is where his numbers lie. You got him by 1.
Ooh. Damn.
He's kind of like, well, if it is as important as you say it is, I can spare men to help investigate it and help allocate a way to give power to this place, but in terms of getting it to actually lift up off the ground, I'm afraid that is something that is beyond my own means. That's not something I know how to do.
I appreciate.
Technically, he did agree with your with what you said.
Mm-hmm. Well, the help is appreciated. We will need the extra hands around the fortress in order to properly maintain it and get it operational. But the means of locomotion are still the issue here. And I believe that this deep keep might help us in that direction.
You keep talking about this deep keep, but what is it? What is in this deep keep that you think would help?
Perhaps the power we need to cause an island to float.
And what would that power be?
I don't know, you tell me.
Couldn't even begin to fathom what would be in a place known as the Deep Keep. Where would you even find such a place?
Well, based on the name, I'd imagine it's somewhere underground.
Underground, when we're on a floating, flying island.
What was,
I mean, we
what
did
was that
cross
place that we
Underground City.
what was that place that we went to before when we were attacked by the demons and we ended up in this underground city?
There's
Was it
beneath
underground?
the surface? Perhaps, but again, where you're just gonna search all of Isserus on the underground in order to find the Deep Keep.
Well, we wouldn't have to search everywhere if a certain somebody knew where it was located and was willing to part with that information.
Now that would be convenient, would it not?
Extremely.
Anime
After all,
sweats.
After all, we did ensure your safety so that you wouldn't be brutally torn apart by demons.
Okay. Are you saying that condescendingly?
Kinda, sorta.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll intimidation then.
Oh no.
I will give you
no.
advantage because of the way it's
Oh.
because of the way you worded it and the way that everything came. So
Roll
just
that
roll
second
again. Okay.
15.
Mm.
That's not good intimidation for me.
He kind of, you know, I don't appreciate being or attempted to being strong-handed in my own abode, and if I recall correctly, you were rewarded for that service you provided to this state. And you can tell that he's kind of a little more on the defensive now.
All right, how about this? I know at least I have some connections into the trade of my city. Katya, your father's rich, right?
Only slightly.
Is he part of a trading conglomerate or something like that?
The answer to that would be
Well,
yes.
Of course.
And you, sir, do you have something along the lines of... What was the spell Zop have told me? Geese.
You mean access to it?
In some way, shape, or form.
I myself do not, but perhaps one of my scribes or one of the young men working for me might. I would have to inquire about it. Why?
Right. I know, like I said, I have connections to people in places of political and trade power on my island. Katya has the same on his island.
Mm-hmm.
We sign a geese that, in exchange for help with the Deep Keep, you get first rights to trade with my island and Katya's island. Now let's think about it. My island has a perfect blend of science and magic, where many long lost and incredibly powerful spells are now in the form of a handheld device. My people can talk to a person on the other side of an island in an instant. Even the common people can do this.
Wow, that must be nice.
No, it's extremely. We also have carriages without horses that can fly.
Whoa. Katya's mind is blown.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage, Denoch.
I
Oh
figured
my
that would
lord.
happen.
Okay. He kind of looks you up and down. It's a very interesting and generous deal you have presented me with. What? Let's say we find this deep keep. What is it you think you will find there that will enable the fortress you speak of to fly? And for how long would it last? As well as the spell you speak of, geese. How long would it take you to travel to another island? Because geese does have a duration.
Honestly, we're not sure. The island flies through magical crystals that require magical power.
Crystals?
So,
He
yes.
He looks at
There
you
would be a
and
lot of
kind
trouble.
of tilts his head a little bit and kind of looks at the entire group here.
from what I can tell, they're essentially giant magical batteries that
What's a battery?
a storage of power.
Ah,
Sure.
Honestly, you could call almost any magical item a battery for that spell or magical current.
fascinating. You seem
Obviously,
kind of
there's
becoming a little more relaxed.
Obviously there's got to be a lot of trial and error where this is involved, because in my lifetime I've never powered a floating fortress. I've never even been to see a crystal that holds that amount of magic. I don't Up until the time we got here, we didn't even know there were other islands to be found. So there's no telling how far we would have to go to reach another one, or how long we would fly, or how long the battery, as Dinok calls it, would last. There's just there's a lot of variables that we just don't have definite values for. But we have to try.
And I suppose in order to keep the geese active, you could have your scribe or assistant or whoever has the geese available to have assign another to continue the agreement of the previous. Just keep it going.
Accompany us, if they will.
He kind of like looks at all of you guys and looks you guys all over for a minute. And he leans forward for a minute and kind of rests his arms on his desk, holds his hands, interlacing the fingers. Tell me, he says for a moment of intense seriousness. What do you call these crystals that you expect to find to power your fortress? And for a moment,
An engine.
you guys. Fuck.
It just says crystals.
You guys see this moment of intensity within Vom, almost said with a poise of aggression in his voice. And he waits for your response.
Alright, I'm going to call in some keen mind bullshit. Did the Oracle ever say anything about what they were called?
No, but you did cast Identify on them.
Alright,
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had to burp.
fair enough.
Where did that go? Where did it go? Where did it go? I think it's here.
I call them propulsion crystals. But I don't actually know.
You're wrong.
Of course.
We're just calling them.
Calls them crystals.
They are referred to as Harmony Stones.
Ah, right. Now I remember.
The stones under the keep were harmony stones.
Oh, I even wrote it down.
Oh my god. And he relaxes for a minute. Very well. Keith and shit, where did the name go? Name go.
Yeah, just make it up.
Oh, I had one. I had one. Nope. I don't know where it went.
Davis.
We're gonna go with Fuller.
Okay.
Keith and Fuller. Stand down. And you guys watch as from behind two of the larger potted plants in the room, one kind of in the back corner, kind of towards the door, and one maybe 15 feet from his, not even 15 feet, maybe 8 feet or so from his desk. You watch as two men step out from behind it, lowering a crossbow. And they kind of just dressed in mostly black. They are human, from what you can tell. They kind of look at you guys and make eye contact with one another, and then look to Vom. He exhales shakily. They know. And he walks over to a bookshelf where he's got several books stacked pretty full. Like, it's a pretty full bookshelf. You're not sure what is all on here. Looks mostly to be reading books of some kind. He grabs a part and pulls, and you watch as the bookshelf swings on hinges almost away from the wall, revealing a entryway that descends. It appears to as it appears, and he turns back to you and he goes, "Follow me. We're going to descend into the deep keep."
Oh, it's right here.
He turns and begins to walk down the stairs. It is.
I mean, we're better to hide it and guard it than in the right next to the most powerful man in the city, probably, right?
I wish. And he begins to walk down a bit, and as you guys follow, I'm assuming you all follow.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Question though, does the Minotaur fit?
Yes, it is once you get past like the entryway, it's a very wide opening. The stairway kind of goes in a circle, kind of spiraling what seems to be like the entire outside of the tower. Did somebody say they had a question?
No, just my question about the Minotaur.
Okay. And as you guys enter, the two individuals behind you follow behind you, and the door closes, and you guys are plunged into darkness.
I can't see
Light.
light.
You cast light, and you guys are almost blinded for a moment, like turning on the light
At midnight.
Yeah.
Actually, a better light. Well, actually, I was gonna say a better example of this would almost be like turning your brights on when it's snowing heavily.
Oh!
Yeah, that don't mean nothing to me.
Okay.
Oh, right, Texas. Look up a picture of warp drive. That's essentially the same thing.
Warp drive.
Think like
okay.
Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon going into hyperdrive.
Yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that kind of image, kind of a thing. That's basically what it looks like whenever you turn your brights on, whenever it's snowing pretty heavily.
It's how a lot of us people who watch that scene as kids get to relive it anytime it's snowstorms.
Yeah, I always go faster whenever that happens. Anyway,
Me too.
anyway, as that kind of happens, Vom kind of turns and just turn that off. You don't need that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
As you extinguish the light and you blink slowly for a minute as your eyes begin to readjust, it almost looks like you guys are walking through the night sky. Stars in between the space and void itself, twinkling, bright and dim in different areas, giving enough light to dimly illuminate the pathway before you.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Oh, all right then.
This is
So,
better than any observatory back home.
Vom kind of... Welcome to the Archmage's Tower. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Booyah!
whoa.
All right.
Well then.
Yeah! You guys... yeah, that's kind of where I expected you guys to sort of kind of get to. Probably could have been better.
Honestly, I kind of like leaving it right there.
I do too. You guys got to an interesting point. I was expecting you guys to get a little bit further, but I'm like, this is close enough, and it's time, basically. So
The assumption here is that the Archmage's Tower is just the top, is the tower that stretches above the city of Tullus, and it's part of the Deep Keep.
you can make that assumption, sure.
We'll find out next week.
On Mundus.
All right, guys. In the meantime, I had a blast. I hope things go as smoothly as tonight did next week, because next week will be the real deal when I have baby Rip all on my own. My wife is technically here to help, but she has not helped me tonight, which is fine. Because I wanted to find out how it was going to be anyway, because that was going to give me an idea of whether or not this stream was going to continue to be a realistic goal of mine. And it was.
It worked.
He slept for most of this.
The sound of your voice bores him.
Are you sure it's not yours?
Can you hear me?
I mean, somewhat.
Anyway,
guys, don't forget to love one another, and take care of yourself in this new crazy year. I want it to be better than 2020, but we were 6 days in, and somebody decided to make an ass of themselves. For us. So, be careful out there,
America.
Yeah, and hopefully, we will be back next week. If not, I will make an announcement on Twitter. Just make sure you follow me over there. On Twitter at Big Ripper. I'll make that announcement. And if you've missed any of our videos, our past broadcasts of Mundus, all of these videos get uploaded to YouTube. Typically, I try to get them the following Monday, but sometimes I'll even do them immediately afterwards, just to not forget. But everything should be up on the Big Ripper YouTube channel as of now. So if you've missed any of these videos, please go over there, check it out, and
tell us what you think.
Exactly. Share your thoughts. The comments are a great place to do that. And if you would like, join us in the Discord. our Discord server is open to everyone. We play a variety of games. We primarily are D&D, yes, but that's because we don't have time to play other video games right now. We really want to, but between schedules not aligning and then the workload of some of us just being catastrophically insane, we just don't have time.
And
And
then
computer
there's
failure.
a little rip.
He's part of my catastrophic workload. So, anyway, guys, we'll see you guys next week. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I hope everybody had good holidays. Yeah, I do.
Oh yes.
It was holidays. Anyway,
Does
you guys
happen, you know.
yeah. Have a great weekend, guys, and we'll see you guys next week. Good night.
Peace out.
Bye.
Yo.
See ya.